Click the go live button, don't I? I didn't even save. I don't really know. I didn't hopefully everything's good. Don't know what the thumbnail's got. Okay, so it did save everything. It's a bit over ambitious there. Over ambitious. A bit quick. Just adding this to our little Discord server. Now I have the live stream. I don't really know how people who live stream as a job handle this. I never see this at the beginning of other people's live streams. There's always a lot of professionalness going on, but here, here I am adding this after the fact and having to get the chat up. So it is what it is, I guess. I hope everyone's doing well. Double happy faces today. This time I won't forget. I always forget to do this, and I have to like retroactively add this timer. So today's going to be a bit of a different one. I was threatening to go on stream from Linux today, but I didn't need to. I have fixed everything that I need to do on Linux. I need to actually just start adding new features now. So yeah, everything that I did yesterday is pushed. It's all happy, nothing's bad or anything like that. So yeah, we are progressing nicely. Just getting the chat up and I'll begin. So yeah, again, anyone who may be watching, let me know how the audio is, if the music's too loud, etc., and all that kind of stuff. All right, cool. I've got the chat up. We are good to go. Yeah, I don't know how professional us streamers do this. I don't think I'll ever be one of them, so we're all good there. We don't need to worry about that ever. Yeah, so I'm gonna be trying to find. So this is Jolt, by the way. This is the Jolt's physics engine. I didn't write this, so don't be impressed, I guess. This is none of my code, but we will be kind of like today's going to be a bit of a different one because I'm not exactly sure the plan of attack. I thought instead of worrying about it, let's just see what happens, you know. I've kind of forgotten how to change simulation. This is the ragdoll at the moment, which select test. Simple. Yeah, this is effectively what I want to do, right? Select test, general, simple. Ooh. Pause P. Yeah, that's all I want to do. That's 90% of what I want to do. I want to have like some static geometry, which is this on the floor, and I want to have some bodies that are dynamic. Yeah. Yeah, and hopefully we can hook up the debug renderer. One thing I have done, and the music's a bit too loud. Thank you for letting me know. Good to see you again, Ratchet. It was a bit loud for me as well. I just wasn't sure. Yeah, I think that's what it was last time. I think it's on the YouTube side. So yeah, we're going to be digging into the documentation. We're going to be doing a bit of reading. It might be a bit of a reading stream versus a coding stream, because I'm not entirely sure how to do all this, but I am aware that we do have the very simple we have the wonderful samples to go off, and we do have the Hello World program, which does run, and it does run on Linux, compiles on Linux, everything's fine. I've just split this up into 3 different functions. That's the only difference from yesterday. So we have a shutdown, we have a run physics, and we have a initialization, which makes sense. I mean, you don't want to be initializing things, shutting down things, and running things every single frame. That would be silly. So we just want to obviously be simulating. Hopefully having a good day, Ratchet. Hopefully everything's going good for you as well. So yeah, this is just a fuck it, we bog type situation. Not quite sure exactly how things are going to go, so yeah. Now in the samples, I don't exactly know what sample does what, but I remember reading that there is like a, if you want to implement something, you... good morning, Blue, it's good to see you. My Wi-Fi is broken, so no. Things aren't going great. Ugh. Unlucky. Hopefully you sort it out. Now you've said that, I have to say the line. Have you tried turning it on and off again? It's got to be said. Sorry. So yeah. What are we doing? I'm trying to find that general example that I was just on, and right. Let's bring up my Obsidian, so at least I've got some notes going on for this. If I get really stuck, I'll just move on to something else. But you know, let's give it a proper try first. You have. You've tried it. You've tried turning it on and off again. God damn it! We've tried everything. I guess there's no help. There's no hope for us all now. Right. So. Where would my jolt... Oh, I made a whole index. Oops, I have everything open. No, it's a tag. Jolt, there we go. And what I'm looking for is basics. Now, where's the documentation? That's what I want to get up. So my goal today is to add a body to a scene and just have it update with this. You've seen this before, but if I run this, I'm not sure if Blue's seen this actually. Yeah, he's probably seen an error before. What was this for? I thought it fixed this. Okay, I guess we gotta fix this. Yeah, I'm looking forward to dive into it. It is extremely extensive. I've read the... I don't know what this page is, the front page. The architecture of jolt physics. And yeah, it's all very fantastic. Yeah, so we're gonna hopefully set up by dynamic force that's used by bodies. I know it has its own like vector and quaternion data structure. It doesn't use like GLM or CGLM or anything like that. So hopefully that transition between updating the physics and updating the shaders won't be too difficult. I'm sure it's basically the same under the hood. I mean, there's not many ways you can write, not many weird ways I think you can write something like a 3D vector class, etc. and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that is what we're doing, but looks like we have a little issue before we begin. So we might be debugging that for a minute. The new Minecraft snapshot has a... Oh yeah, I heard Minecraft is moving to Vulkan, or at least using it. Oh, really? Yeah, what's up with the... I've only like vaguely heard from like someone who likes Minecraft that it's moving to Vulkan, and that means from their to them they were like, oh, that means it's just gonna really... They were like, oh, it's just gonna run really fast. I was like, mm-hmm. I mean, in theory that's possible, but depends on how you implement it. It could actually run a lot slower. You just have a function that converts from vector, JPH vec to vec3, vec3 even. And after every physics update, I update the position of my game objects. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. I'm going to try and do something similar. Oh, really? Wow. After all that work, the Minecraft render is not much faster. I feel like Minecraft is pretty hamstrung by the fact that you have to do a bunch of... Alright, I'm just going to put this here for a minute. Do a bunch of modding in that, so... I don't know if it's like CPU bound. In the sense that it has to, you know... Alright, that might be the issue where I put the temporary allocator above. I kind of mixed everything around, so I'm not exactly sure if this, the order of initialization is wrong. Yeah, I was thinking that they're extremely CPU bound. Is it really slower than your renderer? Holy. I haven't heard any about this. That's a bit embarrassing for the team. So the job system needs to be above all this again. You know what they should do? They should get AI to like write the code for them. That's definitely gonna work. just outsource the AI, you know. You just need to add please to the end of the prompts, you know. Kind of get it to work. That's what I've heard anyway. Wow. Well, I guess they have time to get it up to snuff. I've recently downloaded Minecraft, well, bought Minecraft. For the longest time, I was stuck on some weird version. It was not quite beta, it was it had survival mechanics, sorry, it had hunger mechanics. But I was like way back in time using like I think 2014 Minecraft, and I recently went to the new one. I have no idea what's going on. It's like it's insanely different, and yeah, I guess also a bit bloated. I just felt it's like lots of like the launcher is horrendous in my opinion, but you know, originally you just click on the game and run. I don't know why we need like a second menu. But that's just me being complaining kind of. I like the old version better. So yeah, at the moment we're getting a class that goes null. We are just sticking it on the stack here, so obviously the deconstructor runs for that class. But I wonder if it's like passing by reference, or and it's not by copy. No, I thought it was, yeah. Oh, I see, that's what it was. Well, we'll see. We'll see if Microsoft can pull themselves together with this Vulkan renderer. Right, I didn't know about the you know what I mean. I'm so far out of what Minecraft is nowadays. Like when I played Minecraft, I literally just booted up the game, went to a single player mode, and dug down mountains with a stone pickaxe, and then went off again. Like I didn't engage with any of the systems. I was just kind of like using it as like some kind of Zen type experience, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'll see if this builds. I will put a breakpoint in though here because I want to see this where it actually dies. Yeah, I did actually read that. Well, see that in the menu. There's a Bedrock edition and there's a Java edition. And again, that was another thing. I was kind of like, what? Why is there two? So yeah, I'm just gonna step through to see where it boffs. I'm guessing it's to do with the broad phase. Number of layers. In fact, I'm just gonna step out of this, I think. Shift. Yeah, okay, so it is in there. But I don't... Yeah, I should have kept going. I'll put a breakpoint here, just trying to figure out exactly what's going on. I might actually make it a one thread as well, so I see... For now, why is this... Yeah, the destructor's running, but it's like copied over. There's const reference. It's just... Oh. What is it doing? I mean, I could just keep it alive as long as the programming, as long as the object exists. Because these are stack, we can just throw them on. I think that's the issue. Again, we've been dead lazy. We've copied all the headers. Is this like a... Sorry to go back to what you guys were talking about. So micros... and I said micro slop, then you got me saying it. So it's cross-platform C++ version. It's completely different from Java. What? That's... So they rewrote the game. What a... I mean... Maybe they had a decision. I don't know. So this won't work because I need to grab the classes. So yesterday I talked about writing. Sorry to bounce around so much, but yesterday I talked about how I didn't want to do inheritance or whatever. Now in my mind I was kind of like, I thought I was being like logical and engineering like. But I think it was in the evening time, I was like, wait, I haven't even profiled if this is even ever going to be an issue. And if it's going to make it so that all the implementation is going to be all over the place in this physics engine, I'm probably going to find that I'm going to be struggling more with development than the minor performance gain that I'll get from removing a V-table or whatever. So yeah, I've decided to hold off on writing the implementation straight into the Jolt source code until it's absolutely needed. Because it just seems like I'm accusing, well, accusing. I think I've talked about like OPP or whatever being like bad and stuff, but I'm kind of like repeating the same mistake that OPP people make, which is like adhering to a strict set of beliefs. And I say beliefs because it's literally like beliefs. Instead of like being sound in my engineering and actually giving like a correct solution, and I don't know how to describe it, like a a validated, proof-based, well, not even proof-based, but just a valid reason for doing some engineering thing. So yeah, for now, we're going to keep as close to what is it called? The Hello World program and the samples suggest I do for now, and worry about engineering a potential solution later. Because I can't say that I'm being a good software engineer if I'm just being like, data-oriented design is the only way I could think, and I need to rewrite everything to data-oriented design, just because. That just sounds dumb. Oh, Java Edition only works on PC. Okay. Blew you completely right there. Yeah, Java was supposed to, air quotes, run on everything. I wonder if anyone... I feel like that was only there to trick managers. And trick people into switching over or whatever. Right, so let's just see if everything doesn't blow up. Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm returning a pointer instead of a const reference. I'm just storing the pointer to this. Now I wonder if this is garbage. No, this worked. Or did it? Give me a minute. Right, we'll come back to that. That might be the issue, but who knows? Oh, that's the other thing. I wanted to make it one thread. Yeah, but for now we just want to make these classes live for the entire object's lives. I don't really like the fact that this is an object, but the fact that I need like other objects to exist as long as the functions are alive. I need to have that reusability. Otherwise I'm going to end up destroying things over and over again. I think that's the only way. Where's the... There it is. So yeah, one thread so I can see what's going on. And I'll do this, comment this out for a minute. Write once, debug everywhere. That was my first language, Java, and I never really got into it. That's so funny though. Write once, debug everywhere. Yeah, okay, so we did all this. This was all good. We add a body, nothing blows up. Cool. In we go. Okay, so how many? I guess we just gotta. I go through this once, and if it's why did I think it was an if statement? Create barrier. Resize. Lock all bodies. Yeah. What I'm looking for is the actual line it kind of blows up on. Is it just the one we've been looking at? How long is this for? Oh, 2. We can easily go over that, no problem. Pressing F10, I'm definitely... Pair buffers, whatever. Oh, and that's the other thing. I've deleted all the shaders. The HLS cell shaders, because it was being a pain on Linux. But I think they weren't relevant to anything. They were just like test compute shaders. I'm not exactly sure what that would mean. They didn't seem to do much. I just hope I haven't deleted something that's to do with rendering the debug renderer. So we'll have to see at that point in the future. But yeah, compilation time is a lot nicer. Sorry, a lot better at the moment. Yeah, the reason I'm doing this instead of just waiting for the call stack is because when I press F5 it kind of disappears off. It says external code used and I can't actually see what happened. So it's using a job-based system. So I'm just going to have to be very methodical. Okay. So we're unlocking. Looks like we did everything. Did I fix the issue? I don't know why. Give me a sec. Let me just restart, and I'll just step over that, and we'll assume that the iterations. Nope. What? Give me a minute. Okay, so that wasn't to do with anything. M contact was null. M contact listener. Now this pointer is not null. M contact listener is null. Let me think. What? Just so people are aware, this worked. Although I've deleted a bunch of code or whatever yesterday. If I added all the physics code that I've kind of separated out into 3 functions, if it's all in one function, it works. So it's. I believe it's nothing to do with what I deleted. Very strange because we stepped through everything. Excuse me. And okay, I'm going to do this again. I'm just going to F5 through this. Because we did one iteration, it was completely fine. It could be the shutdown, actually. No, we were in here. Okay, 1. I'm pressing F5. Why is step not increase? Oh, it is. I'm looking at collision step. Do we end up in an infinite loop or something? Huh? I think we should take a step back. I started programming with Java when I was 9 years old because I wanted to make a Minecraft mod. Ah, that's cool. You started way earlier than I did. Your first renderer was Java and OpenGL. That's funny that we all did. We all started with Java. I started learning Java with. I wonder if any of you guys use this
Place
guide.
where Gods and Monsters episode 1.
Yes, thank you, YouTube. This playlist. The OG. Oh no, that's the C++ one. The beginner Java tutorial series from. I don't even know when this was. Yeah, 16 years ago. Yeah, the new bastard. So you use the same guy. Oh no, my first programming language was good old C. Oh, okay, yeah. That's based. Yeah, this guy taught me a lot as well. If I stuck with programming like consistently, because I took a lot of breaks, I would have been a lot better off. A lot better engineer than I am now. But yeah, this was where I all started. That's funny that we all started. Well, me and Blue started in the same tutorial. Okay. Right, let's sort that. What I'm gonna do then, if this is not working, and it worked before, then we're gonna take like steps back. I think it's the initialization, honestly. I just believe something about this is not playing ball because of the way I implemented stuff. I'm going to leave the shutdown code alone for a minute. I'm going to step out into main and... Yeah, this wasn't the plan for this stream, but this stream's going to be a bit all over the place, to be honest. Like I said, I don't exactly know. Alright, so there's nothing in inted. Yep. What I want to do actually is, just for now, throw this here. No, I'll just step in. Doesn't really matter. Let's see. So, step down, step in, and then F5. Yep. So something about that is it's the initialization. What I'm going to do is slowly pull out stuff then. Right, we have body listener, we have contact listener. These also might be doing the same thing where they run the deconstructor and then for some reason 13 iterations later the physics simulation dies for some reason. So I think the first thing I can do is remove these and put these here, and we should hopefully narrow down what those crashes. So I'm just going to basically F5 until we hit that breakpoint. Okay, yeah, as expected. What have we got? Now, I have a sneaking suspicion that some of these objects need to be persistent for the entire simulation. They can't just be created once, passed in. Constructors, bro. Very annoying. As soon as I started init and shutdown functions, although it was less convenient, holy, that just made everything easier. Because I had explicit control when the objects were destroyed. But now it's like, oh, it's the end of the scope, you've got to know all these rules. Whereas with an init function, you can just be like, I'm going to wait to initialize things. Yeah, so I'm assuming that this is the issue, right? Yeah, because now you got to worry about the lifetime of objects, and yeah, when you have when you explicitly destroy data yourself, everything's chill. All right. Nope. Yeah, we get an error. Okay, so it's the contact listeners and the whatever else listeners. So it's pretty straightforward. Copy, cut and copy, I think. I mean, constructors are fine. It's not like a bad thing or anything. It's just you know, my engine isn't really designed around that. I think if your engine's designed around it and you use all the fanciness, revolving around that kind of stuff, that's chill. But yeah, my engine is not designed around that. As you can see, I've got like an initialization function, so I'm having to kind of fit around this because I don't want to have to write like my physics interaction with Jolt completely different from the renderer. I want to keep it like at least consistent. Yeah, okay, that was the issue. Right. Now the other issue is how much of the other... Okay, so we have the same stuff happening here. We have floor. We have a bunch of other like classes that maybe need to be used. So what I'm going to do is just cut everything out. And we will see if that works, and then if not, we'll put it back, and then we'll slowly increment stuff. Yeah, Bro's the first person to call a constructor fancy. I just... I mean, constructors are like the first thing you learn in like C++ and Java or whatever, but... I don't... Yeah. Basically any object-oriented... Anything that can do object-oriented stuff, it has constructors, but... I don't know, I just... Like, you'll see it... Close this for a minute. But as soon as I... like, for example, every array that you create in my code, you have to call initialization. It's a little inconvenient because it's like 2 lines of code now. And you explicitly have to do a shutdown. Assuming that your allocator is a heap allocator. You don't have to do that for a stack allocator or a bump allocator or whatever. But this just means when I instantiate an array, I don't, when I reserve the space for the array. No, when I instantiate the object of the array, I'm not allocating the memory at the same time. It's for me, in my opinion, it's just like when I use it, it's like, oh, I can like defer construction of this array to later on or immediately or whatever. Okay, so they were the issues. And it's just an opinion, I think. It's not like, I wouldn't even say it's like a good opinion even. It's just like a different style of programming. Like if you're intimately familiar with all the scopes and constructors, destructors, basically object lifetime, which is kind of tricky because there's a lot of weird rules with C++ when it comes to object lifetime, then by all means you can completely chill. But if you just use initialization functions and shutdown functions, you kind of ignore all of it, and you're just kind of chilling. In my opinion, that's why I like it. It just simplifies everything down. Yeah, it's just object lifetime. Well, I guess it's not. Sorry, I just read your set. So one could argue that constructors are glorified initialization functions. I would say yes. I think I was slightly imprecise with my language. I meant to say that object lifetime is the tricky part, and because you don't control object lifetime as easily as running a function, then it kind of gets a little annoying. Because it's all kind of like hidden from you. Like these constructors and destructors are running, but I can't see them. Whereas like if I go to main and I scroll down to the like all my you can see all my shutdowns are happening in the order I want at the end of the function. These are a little different. These are adding objects to a queue that's going to be deleted later when you run GPU shutdown. But yeah, it's and yes, you can know the rules that objects are created and then they're destroyed in reverse order. But sometimes you can make a mistake where you don't actually initialize the object. You kind of just do something else, and it's just a bit scruffy. So C++ is. I'm basically working around C++ being C++. Anyway, I think I've talked enough. We have made some progress, so let's get on. Yeah, that makes sense. Resource acquisition is initialization is Anyway, so what was the plan after I did that? I can't even remember what I was gonna do. Right, I'm just gonna think for a minute, rather than yapping. So we have valid. We have a sphere that's just printing its position. I don't think there's any collision detection. I think we have a broad face thing. Oh, that's the other thing I should do. I should see what it does when we have more than one thread, just to make sure that all the bugs have been removed. And I might push this. Alright. Now what I'm going to do actually is put the update physics in the source code in the main loop. I'd imagine I'd put it above here, and the shutdown physics after we pause the device to wait for everything to finish. And we'll just see how that goes, and then we should try and do what what Blue described in the chat, where we do the physics simulation and then we just pull out the actual, what is it called? I think the first thing I should do. Right? No. Okay. I've got some ideas, but I need to think slowly. Turn this song down a bit. Okay, yeah, so it is a bit slower, and I think that's the frame rate dropping. Alright, cool. What I wanted to see there is not everything blowing up, basically, because we're doing a physics simulation. And yeah, we're all good. All good in the hood. Okay. Oh, that was it. That was the next thing I wanted to do is So, like I said, this might be just me reading for a bit. Yeah, what I'm interested in is the simplest physics simulation. 2 boxes connected, no. Did I scroll past it? Yeah, we're getting repeated music on the second. I mean, I do like this song, but we've heard it already. Go next. Onto the rotting pizza. Very good. Anyway, Yep. Okay, let's just take this to there. Actually, it's good. Let's look in that because that was a little easier. Yeah, generals here. Why is that not in the one I have? Tests. Oh, what? How did I not see that? And this was called simple or something? Yeah. So this, I think this is like a bit more than just the Hello World program. So yeah, let's dig into this a little bit. So, okay. Let's confirm actually before we begin that. How would I check that body on activation? Yeah, that probably is what we care about. General, simple. Yeah, okay. Right. So my terrible, not even entity system needs to have some kind of data of the body ID, I think. Okay. So this is the bad stuff with Minecraft. Oh, okay, it has giga barriers, or it just blocks everything. Spams draw calls. Oh yeah, I've heard push to script is not very good, because that's not going to bindless. Really, they're doing an OP clear every time. Why? Surely they would know that. That's a bit basic. Right. I mean, you can look at my render and say, you can talk. So there's no GPU-driven rendering, even a little bit. Fair enough, fair enough. Alright. So now I need to kind of like figure out what I need to put inside an entity. Oh, they're not using OP Clear when they can, I see. It's the other way around. So they're just saying don't care every single time? Hmm. Oh well, they'll have to I don't know, follow Arseny Kapulkin's series to really understand how to do that, I guess. To do GPU-driven rendering and move away from whatever they decided to do. I guess they're just OpenGL programmers who have just like learned Vulkan and kind of stuck with what they know. Which is fair enough, I guess, but yeah. Right, okay, let's see. Register those physics types. Admittedly, I haven't read the comments, so I'm just going to go through these. Hopefully that's okay, gang. Oh, I want to talk about something in a minute, but I'll have to restrain myself from yapping. This is responsible. Mm-hmm. In this Malika free, so I know you can do your own allocator. I remember that. This is the 10 megs. By the way, 10 megs is too much for this example. That's fine. 10 megs is completely fine for a temporary allocator for me. I mean, I think my temporary allocator is 8 megs, so I don't even know what it is. It's irrelevant. Who cares? We need a job system. So they have a job thread system, which makes complete sense. Let me just go over the classes. So this is the bit I'm a bit... No, not that, sorry. Foggy on. The listeners versus... What's the other thing I was thinking about? So there's different layers, and I think you can put things on different layers. Determines objects. Typically, you at least have one layer for moving bodies, one layer for static, more for other stuff, sure. Each broad phase layer is a separate bounding volume tree in the broad phase. You at least want to have a layer for non-moving objects. Okay. To avoid having to update the tree of static objects. Oh, okay, that makes sense. You can have a one-to-one mapping between broad phase. I think I also need to reading this. I think I need to simplify what I've rendered. Yeah, I need to basically have a duck and a rock crash into each other, I think. And if I can do that with just forces at the moment, then I'll be happy. Then I need like a rock that doesn't move, maybe. Now, what do I want to make? I want to make a... Let's make a duck crash into a rock, and the duck moves, but the rock doesn't. I think that makes sense, because that's testing two different things. That's testing a non-moving piece of geometry, which is going to be the most common thing. I can make it a static sphere and a dynamic sphere. And that should hopefully be the simplest. Oh yeah, so one thing I'm going to do is get rid of this. Ugh. I don't know why anyone would have it like that. Okay, so I think that's the next thing we need to do. We need to set up a system for success. Right now we just got like a random scene where everything's just spat out in a sphere. Or a radius, basically. So, number of entities. The number of ducks. So, this is going to be 2. And instead of that, we're going to have to kind of... again, this is demo code, so I don't really care like commenting it out and duplicating it, because I'm not going to keep this eventually anyway. So what we're going to do is, instead of using random, we're just going to... no, actually, I'm not going to use this for loop, that's just too complicated. For each entity, we're just going to place them manually in code, in a place that makes sense for us. So, so effectively, I'm going to say number 0 is, so entities, should I make this into a function? No, I'm just going to do it with the laziest, so that's the only thing we care about. Entity 0 dot draw what was this for again? Give me a sec. You still have 10 megs for your project. Just out of curiosity, guys, how are you finding out all this stuff about the Minecraft renderer, by the way? Is it in the graphics Discord or something? Alright, so... zero... F rotation. I think we need this to be... I don't know if I could set this up to be 0. Scale vector. For now, I'll just keep it exactly the same, but I know I can probably use an identity matrix for the rotation. And normalize. Can you... Right, I'll do that. So it's just already a normalized vector. Angle. It's pretty straightforward. And for this, do 1. Yeah, position index needs to be mapped 1-to-1 with the creation of a thing. That's how we know what position rotation of what has what. Because we are using what is it called? In fact, we can leave that alone. We want position to be 1, maybe? Sorry guys, I asked a question and didn't read what you said. You took a frame catcher render doc. Ah! You can just look at the code though. It's not obfuscated anymore. Oh really? Interesting. I assume the Vulkan renderer was Bedrock. Or is it both? Yeah, good question. I should have known. Actually, I don't want to use Y, I want to use X. 1, 1, 1. Okay, so I also don't want to update it. So I don't want to update this. Where's the updating of... where did I put that? Ah, right, yeah, it's DirectX 12 on Windows. Linux, I assume. I wonder if it'll speed up. Let's just say they have like a perfect Vulkan renderer for what they need. I wonder if that'll speed up performance with like mods and stuff. I feel like Minecraft in itself has become extremely slow over the coming years. It's just like a pondering more than anything. Okay, so this is the... Yeah, we don't need this. This is us updating the shaders with a delta to Z, which is completely random because everything's oriented randomly. So. Position, yeah, we still need everything here. Alright. Hopefully we have two objects that don't barf. I think, oh, multiple definitions of things. Yep. I remembered to do this for everything other than what I needed to do it for. I did position, but I didn't do anything else. Right. Cool. So hopefully we have two objects that are relatively close to the camera that aren't moving. Whoa. Why is it so small? Oh, I think I've scaled it. I think the dog's probably inside the rock. Ugh. Yeah, this is extremely small. Yep, there it is. We saw it. Okay. Alright, let's scale these up then. Angle times by sine. I swear this is for rotation, not... Let's at least make this 10. Minecraft RTX is deprecated. It would speed up rendering by a lot. Actually, it's gotten much faster in recent years. Has it? Oh, okay. I've not kept it with Minecraft. Where's the dog gone? Really? 10's not big enough? Okay. 50 then. Okay. I know what's going on. We do need to update the positions. We don't have to do this. No, we're going to eventually have to do this, but we don't update the Z. No, wait, what? Give me a sec. Let me just run it anyway. New positions is 0, so it's just going to map to 0. No, it's still tiny. Okay, so yeah, we create the positions beforehand. I mean, I could just scale everything by a certain amount, but yeah, give me a minute. So if I bring this back, this random generation, I might just be completely off here, where I just assume that it's scaled it up, and it hasn't actually. Or we see nothing at all. Okay. Ducks to yeah, sorry, I'm just gonna think for a minute and come back to you. So for some reason nothing's being rendered. Or is it? Yeah, I'm gonna update the position again. It's yeah, so I'm actually gonna update the position of 2 things moving, so we should at least see we're more likely to see it, I think. If I move the camera back. No, interesting, okay. So Ratchet, are you really into Minecraft? Are you like do you play Minecraft regularly? Is that your because like I said, yeah, no judgment obviously, it's kind of just get to know you question. Yeah, okay, so they are tiny. And I can definitely increase the size of the whole scene. That's trivial. But do I want to? I scaled it down because it was too big. Now it's too small again? Very weird. Let's go an order of magnitude bigger then. Yeah, okay. That sounds good. We'll stop updating them because they're moving off to infinity. Where's the updating going again? Where? That's further down. How am I blind to this? There it is. Let's just see how. Okay, that's reasonable. That's easy enough to see. For some reason, the position has not changed. Right, let's just confirm that for sure though. So that shouldn't be. I believe the duck should not be inside the rock, and if it is, then right. Okay. Okay, so there's the. Jeez, that's a huge distance, dude. 9,999 gets you here. Oh, fun fact. We were talking about learning our first programming languages earlier. This song that's playing right now was the song that I learned how to code with. So it's always I used to listen to it for days straight. I think I listened to it. I think it was the only song I listened to for like, I don't know, a couple of months while I was learning Java. I would flick on the Mega Drive and just play this song while I learned to code with the New Boston. It's fun times. So it's always like a good track to help me lock in. Right. Now I'm kind of curious, if I scale everything down, does the distance scale? I'm kind of curious now. It just seems like the distances are huge, but visually it doesn't look very big. No, it's just the same. That's such a small distance. But the object's already small. Even with native scale, let's go to 10. Because I think 9,999 distance is nuts. Like, these should be really far away. Okay. I'll stick with that. For now, I'm not exactly sure how the physics engine is going to respond to me scaling up the objects by 10. That's the next thing, is figuring out how to fill the bounding volumes that actually fills the mesh. I'm sure there's a good documentation for that, so yeah, we need to have a. And also, let's get rid of this. I need a do nothing inside the update physics for now. Not that it's like doing anything bad or anything. It's just, yeah, I wanna kind of just leave that for a minute. I'm gonna go into the simple test, and there's probably a meta. Not a meta program, but I'm assuming test has more. So yeah, this creates a floor. I assume it's static and all that kind of stuff, so maybe I should make a floor. I don't know. Not quite sure what to do, but I'm fine. I'll work through it. Let's see. Create a train. No. Get world scale, which I assume is the same. What is this? Just one. For test IH. Oh, this is handy. So it has some kind of like logic going on here. Oh, this is what I was looking for. Oh, that's just empty. What? Where's the actual main of this? Simple apt. I was looking in the wrong place. It's a bunch of stuff that I'm assuming is just registering function callbacks or whatever. Okay, so temporary allocator, sure, it's quite big. Set loader, compute system. Oh, there's going to be some layer of indirection here, isn't there? UI. Yep. And how do you set up collision geometry then? I mean, I could literally just surround it in a square and just, or a object and call it a day. What are these things? Just text. What is this macro? Get RAI. Is this some... I saw this in the documentation. Didn't quite get it. Runtime type information in C++. Yeah, I'm going to ignore the UI. Right. Okay, so we're in some... It's interesting, this would strike me as some kind of like, oh, we did it because it's elegant, but yet it uses defines. Which is, it's not like a necessarily bad thing using defines, it's just kind of, I'm making some assumption here that they wanted to be elegant or whatever. Instead of having like a big array, they had to use a factory or some kind of thing to figure out the type of the object at runtime. This strikes me as a C++ 2024-6 kind of thing. Runtime type information. But yet it's done in macros. Right, so anyway, main. Yeah, it's definitely convenient, I think, for them. It's just an observation. It's like usually the most C++ pilled use every C++ feature known to man, and you know, defines would be. Blech. I don't use a define. I used to using equals or something, or some kind of weird meta-programming thing. I let the compiler figure out what the type of the thing with the meta-programmer, blah 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 thing. It's just that's what you know what I mean. That's not that he's like that at all. I just I don't know the guy. It's just what came to my head. Yeah. It's needed for dynamic cast, for example. I've done downcast and upcast, but downcasting means converting a base class pointer or a refer back to a derived class type. This requires runtime check to ensure that the conversion is valid. Huh. So if you're going from the derived class, converting to a base pointer, interesting. I've used this before, but I've just never known of the concept. I've never known of this concept. I kind of want to type this up, to be honest, but should I type this up? Yeah, screw it, it's my stream. Yep, sorry, we're going on a complete side tangent. It's one of these things where I don't want to get hung up on like not being able to do stuff because it's not entertaining or whatever. Reference. I just need to know the type. Basically, this part. That's all I care about, to be honest. So. I just need to explain it to myself in a way that makes sense. This is what I do typically. If I don't know something, I just type it up. Means runtime type information. This is needed to be able to tell what the object is at runtime. It plays. Now I've got to The rule with these are I can't use the words of the tutorial. This is used when you're working with polymorphism / inheritance. Cool. It's mainly used with virtual classes, virtual functions. Oh, blah, blah, blah. It's used when you have a parent and a base class with virtual functions, meaning that a parent and a base class the RTTI allows, is it the compiler? Well, I'm just going to say allows C++, allows C++, yeah, let's move on. Allows C++ to work out the object type and based on if they are compatible. Ugh, I can't spell this. Yes, I have horrendous spelling. It's genetic there. So I can blame something. The based on the virtual functions, I guess, or the vtable maybe. Right. You have two different concepts linked to this. Upcasting, downcasting. Yep. Okay. Upcasting. Means you are converting a child class to a parent class. This is 100% safe to do because child class has everything a parent class has. That makes a lot of sense. Downcasting means, yeah, you're doing the opposite. Parent to a child class. This requires us to do a runtime check. To make sure these are valid. Right. Let's read the rest. Let's read the rest. A runtime cast is type conversion that checks its validity during execution. Shows it has safety. Implemented using dynamic cast. Returns a valid pointer if correct. That's what the differences between static and dynamic cast are. Holy moly, I've literally been confused for that forever. You have no idea how many people have... Well, in my job, I had people explain to me that... I use dynamic cast all the time. I was like, yeah, it just returns a pointer if it works or not. And then I did like a dynamic check, and it was like... People didn't ever explain this. Like, what is the actual... static cast versus dynamic cast difference? Because you can static cast these classes, I think. I remember doing that at least. Let's just check. Actually, let's bring up Nebula. This is my scratchpad for learning. And sorry if this is a little boring, but the reason that I'm going to be streaming more often is I'm just going to like throw caution to the wind when it comes to this kind of stuff. I don't know, color. It's something that just stopped me from streaming, and I was kind of getting in my own head about like, oh, I need to make sure everything's like good and I don't struggle because people will think I'm an idiot. It's like, bro, at the end of the day, I just have to not care. It's not like, I don't know, it's me to protect it, I don't know. Now let's do a char, and this char is, I don't know, character of color, and you have a char. You pass in a byte or something. I don't know. Character. Like, at the end of the day, I can't know everything. I will forget stuff, and it's just gonna make me worse as a developer if I like overly worry about this kind of stuff. Virtual. So I'm just gonna did I not type that out right? Oh, okay. And I'm assuming I won't do a pure virtual because that'll be annoying to instantiate the class, but I don't know. Print color, isn't it? Oh, I didn't set the return type. Okay. And we want to go... This is a base class. No. I don't know, this class, this function doesn't have a color. I don't know. Right, okay. Main. And if people think I'm bad at programming or whatever, I just think, you know, whatever. But also, I'm always going to improve. Like, tomorrow I'm going to be better because I've done this today. Let's make this protected. Like I'm not gonna sacrifice. I'm not gonna what is it called? Start outsourcing my thinking to AI, so I slowly get worse over time. That is not gonna happen. Oh, I don't know what's going on there. And we need to run color. And we don't need this actually. Take that character. Throw that in there. This is the color. Oh, sorry, this is the color red. And I don't know what's the right ear. I was gonna have like some idea where it's like this would be like the first character for something or whatever. Anyway, whoops. And let's just write a second function. I don't know why. This is just to make sure that when I cast backwards that we know that this doesn't have everything. That this has more than the child. This has more than color, you know. So I'm I'm just going to return some constant value, really. But yeah, just to throw in. Maybe I should just print. Let's just print something. Wow. Whatever. It's not called add though. Print. Oh, print. Come on. I2 like 1. Okay. So when you do, we need a pointer. So color. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to confirm something. I'm going to do an old school new color and oh, right. So this is I've allocated it on the stack. Now I want to go color 1, print color, just yes. Just see, obviously this is going to work. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. Alright, this function doesn't have color, but then I want to go red equals new color equals dynamic cast to red pointer. Take in color 1. Is that not it? Oh, yeah. So I'm casting to the parent. I'm kind of curious of what's going to happen. So no, I would always do this. I would always go if new color, then we can go print color and new color, print 1. I didn't. Oh no, I did. Okay. Yeah, we didn't make this. We just use the private value, protected. And yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, if I did a static cast, So this won't work. Now I've just got to do this again for one that will work. Blue. Get rid of this. So now it's using exactly the same class. One. Blue. Doesn't have that. No, it doesn't print. Okay. Static. Oops, nope. Didn't want to do that. Static cast. That's probably just a bad pointer. Let's see the example of downcast then. So it can't cast. I don't want mine can't cast when it's this one. They're the same. Oh, does it? What? So static cast just kind of breaks. I would assume this didn't work because this is... Why is this working? Brilliant. So you're writing IMG widgets. This is good background noise. Brilliant. That's what it's for. I think second monitor content, maybe fourth monitor content. I think second monitor is a bit too ambitious for this type of stuff. Yeah, I don't want to be the main focus. Now I'm distracted. I want to just briefly talk about something that I streaming related again. I will pause my timer because I'm gonna. It's not a rant or anything. It's just my mindset's kind of changed recently. I watched this brilliant video by what's his name? I'm gonna have to look him up. No, that's the wrong thing. Yeah, I'm just gonna take... No. How do I see my... Give me a second. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I saw a great video by this YouTuber. And he was talking about how he doesn't want to play the game of YouTube anymore. And I think he's basically talking about how you can start off with like a really honest outlook on, say, streaming or content creation or whatever. You know, take your pick. It doesn't really matter. You know, any website, Twitter as well. You know, all of them. And you get like stats and like feedback or whatever based on like how good you did or whatever. Well, the website tries to measure like how good you did based on engagement. And this is exactly why I kind of have to stop thinking about like numbers and metrics or whatever, because yesterday I had like the most fun I've had in like a live stream in a while. It was so fun. It was honestly like, it made me excited to keep doing this where I stream more often. Just because we had like so much fun in the chat and stuff. And I made a load of progress. You know, I could have made more progress if I wasn't talking as much. But anyway, what ended up happening though was like YouTube gives you like a little screen at the end of your stream. And it said, this was the least watched live stream and no one subscribed to your YouTube channel. And I was just like, this is exactly the type of thing that it just like made me annoyed at the whole. I just realized like, oh, this is the reason I stopped streaming in the first place is because I kind of got like hijacked by these metrics being like, oh, you did bad or you did good based on whatever randomness it was. And yeah, I'm totally over that now. I'm not. It feels like the nerd emoji now. It's like you had a good time, guy, but you know.
Well, actually, you did actually really bad at your stream because it was it only did 2.2 worse than the other one. Blah blah blah.
And you know, it's just like a cool observation that YouTube is basically that guy when it comes to telling you like, oh, you're doing air quotes bad or whatever. I'm just doing this for the love, you know. And I can easily get hijacked by the numbers if I let it, and I'm not falling for that again. Because I think eventually what ends up happening is you just become Mr. Beast. You play it out for like decades, like everyone just becomes Mr. Beast. You just optimize and optimize and optimize for what YouTube wants, and eventually there's nothing left other than just Mr. Beast. And you know what? Mr. Beast is fine, I guess. But I'm never gonna be that. Anyway, so for some reason, Blue. That's what I wanted to say earlier. It's So for some reason, Blue is not saved like cast. Whoops, cast 2. When I'm downcasting, which I don't understand. Do I need to make the class? Why doesn't this work? So yeah, if no one's watching, like literally no one's watching, not even just has me on the background or whatever. Don't care what YouTube says. Because holy, I have so much fun doing this. Anyway. Why is this null? Is it because it doesn't have the same data? Right, let's get rid of that for a minute. No, that literally just repeats what the example is, which doesn't seem right. I need to understand this. So, yeah. So yeah, if you guys are ever going to stream or, you know, watch out for that insidiousness of posting content online. You can be drawn in quite easily to, people didn't like that stream or that video because someone didn't click on it. What? This doesn't work either? Bruh. Isn't that literally this? Loading playground. Alright. Let's see here. I'll throw in your example and see what the difference is. Bruh. Did I do something wrong? I literally have no idea. let's go to this. Ugh. Why have you coded it like that? I'm just gonna look over rather than trying to code what they've done exactly. Oh, the constructors are different. Okay, so now that should work? That shouldn't work, right? No. That should work? No. Why is the runtime type information not making any sense? It's literally the same class, bro. I just overrided it. What? So you don't have virtual override, and you don't have a virtual destructor that carries on the chain. And that makes it make sense? That can't be it, bro. Okay. You don't have this. The destructor. Okay, now there's literally no difference. Is it the initial cast to a class that doesn't exist? Sorry, a class that can't be converted to? No. Downcast. By the way, libtx does inheritance and virtual functions in C. They have their own vtable and stuff. Why would you do that? Yeah. That is a strange decision by someone who's written things in C. Maybe they were so... I literally have no idea. Maybe they were like, oh, we've got to write this in C, but I love C++ so much that I've got to implement vtables and virtual functions and stuff. That is nuts. libktx. Oh, I missed that. Missed the K. And that's for the compression. Working with compressed textures, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, It's not inherently safe. Base pointers may not. Yes. Interesting. I wonder if you can't override a function. I think that's probably what I'm missing here. I just noticed. I don't know. Print error. Oops. Nope. Sorry. Yeah, I'll put that back. Why not? That kind of makes things awkward. So let's close print error. That's really awkward, dude. For me, anyway. Print error, I guess. This runtime type information is kind of mad. Override. No. What? I'm gonna get this and I don't care how long it takes. It's gonna be one of these things. So base class, dynamic cast to the derived class. How do we even make this work? Is it because we have two inherited classes? That can't be it. Let's get rid of this red altogether. I once made the mistake of looking into their code. The horrors. Yeah, that seems in. I don't know. There's other words for that. I mean, there are valid cases for hand rolling vtables in C, but the Linux kernel has a lot of them, but not like this. Remember, you can pass in a pointer to a derived class as a base pointer class. Sorry, a base class pointer. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to get this runtime type information to even work. It's like my classes cannot convert between the two. Yet this example works and I don't see the difference anymore. Like this class and this class seem identical to the example. Really, we just don't have the construct. The only thing that's different is this constructor, but why would that change things? I'm going to chalk this up to downcast. Yeah, I literally can't get it to work. Bro, this is extremely frustrating. You can dynamic cast the base pointer into a derived class. Oh, sorry. So remember, you can pass. You are typing a full sentence. Remember, you can pass in a pointer to a derived class as a base class. Remember, you can pass in a pointer to a derived class from a base class as an argument to something. Then you can dynamic cast the base pointer into a derived class. Oh my goodness. That's my mistake. I think that's what you're probably telling me. Okay, flip it, heck. Alright. Now I want to make sure after making that mistake, I never make it again. So I'm going to add in everything that I did before. I feel like I'm going blind, honestly. It's like, that was so hard to see. Like, literally, I just went blind to it. But it is what it is. We won't make that mistake again. because I'm going to write it down. So I want all this example coding because this is actually like better than the, in my opinion, the it's better than the example code because it has, in that tutorial at least. So if I say blue, let's make this up. So this works. This is legit. Whoops. Why is it doing that? Okay. Blue. It's got lowercase. Right. Okay. Done. And I'm gonna add everything back in that I deleted. No. Yeah, honestly, it's been a while since I've used object-oriented code, so maybe I knew this at some point, but now I forgot. Override. Yeah, because I want to make sure this works. And override. Right, cool. What's the issue? Illegal. What are you talking about? Oh. Oh, typo. Right, okay. Let's do this again. Got ya. Okay, so another example where it doesn't work is when you do this. This doesn't work. This never works. Okay, so this down casting works. This does not work. Pay attention to the new color constructor. Right, okay. And red. I assume this just flat out won't work at all. It caused a compilation error. This has got more stuff going on. This is a question mark. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen, so no comment here. I assume that's not going to work. Redefinition. Yeah, don't need this again. Don't need that again. I can put that in. Let's leave that in actually. And dude. Right, okay. No, it works. Okay, so this prints. This does not. Now, what does this do? Right. Okay, so Let's see what it prints then. Blue. Yep. Yep. And yep. And this works too. Even though the class is work. Classes are different. Cool. Alright. Alright, do all that. Let's see what it prints. Yep. So we have blue, blue. Yeah, the... whatever. I feel like I've literally just created objects and gone convert to the same object. But I guess that's downcasting. Alright, okay, so let's throw this into Obsidian. And we are good. So RTII. So I made a program. Look at the comments for what works and what doesn't. Everything here compiles. C++, boop. Alright, nice. Cool, right, done. Learned something, locked away in the steel of fortress of my brain. Anyway, the reason I thought, well, this is a bit dumb because I've literally just made a class that's just red, you know. I just made a red class and a blue class. Like, what is the point of dynamic casting? I'm sure there's some... You can have an array of the... Oh yeah, I remember now why you would want to do this. Because you can have an array of base classes. Then you can, like, place back... Yeah, I'm going to have to write that in. Sorry. Do this ever is because you can have something like an array of classes, class pointers in a flat array that are all the parents of children. But then you just place back or whatever the children class and everything works out. Yeah, that's why we did it in work. It's because we had like arrays or data structures that were needed to be generic for whatever child that you're messing with. Anyways, yeah, sorry, I was doing a bit of C++ study because my bad. We are going back to game development. What game am I developing? I'm developing a little space game at the moment. It's in the early stages, but if I show that, without doing any physics for now, because I can't really show off anything interesting, to be honest. I have deleted all... Hang on. I will for you, AG Time Pyro, show you this little demo. I'm not sure if you're still here. I hope you are, but I was kind of locked into studying for a minute, and if I put this back to 11,000, and I'm just going to bring back a little tech demo where you can see everything kind of where I'm up to. I'm kind of removing stuff because I'm in the middle of adding physics, so yeah, if I run this, assuming that I didn't make a mistake. Aha. I did leave something out. Give me a minute. I almost crashed my graphics card. That's not part of the game, I swear. One moment. Let's get rid of this. And what are these things I added? Change this back to 1 and move initialization and I've got physics destruction here commented out. Okay, and with that I think we should be good. No, I'm really doing something wrong here. When you want to show someone, show something. This can often happen. It's like the code doesn't want to the code doesn't want to work for someone. I've already submitted the queue. What the heck? All right, let's be a bit more aggressive then. Right. Yeah. Okay, so at least you're a programmer. At least you can appreciate the trying to show something and it all just falls apart. Yeah, okay. So we have asteroids, we have docks, they move. This works on Linux. So yeah, you're gonna be flying around. I was just testing movement, that objects could move independently and I could render objects independently of each other. So now we're just trying to add physics to the simulation, so this game, so it actually does something. It's a bit exciting. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Hopefully that was worth the wait. If not, I apologize. Git stash apply, and we'll go back to it not working, and at least try and figure out why. Okay, so I don't want random placement stuff anymore. I want a bit more deliberate. That's what this is for. We have deliberate placing of objects. I was looking at this physics engine source code, and it's doing some downcasting, and we're going to be kind of taking some ideas from that and adding collision geometry to our entities, which in this case is just rocks and ducks at the moment, floating in space. But yeah, so I'm trying to build like a really simple like tech demo game, I guess. Right, so we're on the physics stage, so it's actually, so we can actually play it. Yeah, I do like. I'm gonna try and make the game goofy as hell like that. We have ducks. Yeah, we are not interested in super serious spacefaring things. Right, so we had all this. We already submitted staff. We don't want movement. That's the other thing we don't want. Right, a bit of compilation. Alright, so we took out the... I wonder if that was the issue. No. It's definitely a graphics error. Oh well. Okay. Submission is used by another. This might be threading going wrong. This is a very strange... Yeah, let's throw this back in. This physics simulation. Which just prints to the console. Nope. Okay. We'll turn down our physics engine usage to 1 thread. Just to make sure that there's no thread race condition thing. And if it's not, then that's good, because then it's something I've done. Oh. Okay. Yes, there is a race condition here. It's because I haven't set up any physics. Sorry, I've removed my job-based threading system, and now again yeah, something like that anyway. So the idea is anyway to have this duck collide with this rock, and eventually the camera, and we can do stuff like damage and that kind of thing. So the goal is to find some collision geometry to wrap around these objects and go from there. Oh, yeah, let's not have an array that big if we're not going to use it. Well, yes, I'm beating up ducks. Poor ducks. Fortunately, they're only rubber ducks, so... but it is still kind of mean, I do get what you're saying. Maybe what I'll do is I'll blow up the rock. The rock will blow up or something. Duck abuse indeed. #1 duck abuser. Escape point. I had to put that in the credits or something. No ducks were harmed in the making of this game. Only rubber ducks. Anyway, what do I want to do? I want to... give me a minute. Collision geometry. So I need to go into the gel physics. We know how to downcast now. We know about runtime type information. We be chilling to understand this now. So, rig test. All test? I assume there's got to be like a run simulation or something. Oh, start test, okay. M test. I assume that's a base class. Yeah. So there's going to be some kind of base class stuff going on. I think we're getting repeating music here. Let's refresh. Okay. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for turning up, AJ. I might be, I don't know how much longer I'm going to stream for, but, So hopefully I'll be around, but things are getting a bit late for me. In the day, at least. It's not like I'm going to sleep anytime soon. Alright. Next test. Create probe shape. How long is this? Okay, it's huge. I assume this is like a reference, a shared pointer. Class is automatically referencing. This is equivalent to a const pointer. A const to type T. Const pointer to type T. So this is a pointer that can't be moved. Uh-huh. Sure. It's not that important, I guess. I could just say it vaguely returns something, but we know now it's a const pointer that can't be. The pointer can't be moved, but the value can be changed. Oh yeah, and that's something. If you're ever going to use this library for collision detection, you have to be aware that the new operator is overridden. So it looks like we're using like the default C++ new allocator, I guess, but it's when you use this library, you can override this even with your own allocator, and that'll be overriding the new operator. So it's not. It's a bit ambiguous. Sorry, a bit not ambiguous, vague. Oh, you know what I mean. That word where it's kind of like obfuscated, yeah. But that's what it is doing. All right, hang on. This is the. What is this? Simple app create shoot. I'm gonna start minimizing these. I don't update debug. Start test based on the class thing. Right. Draw physics, which sounds like it's going to be useful, but I'm not going to try and draw the debug renderer yet. That's going to come later. Step physics. Don't think I need to know that. Unless this is actually running the actual simulation. Sorry, wrong thing. I think it is. Yeah. Okay, so that's really useful. So step physics is like how it actually does the thing. And then we have draw. And then we have what? Yeah, keyboard. Update frame. What are you doing? I assume... So this is the actual main loop. Right, that's good to know. I was wondering where this was going to be called. Obviously it's pretty branchy, but... there has to be like a pause and play, I guess, on the simulation. Cool. Update frame. Sure. What I'm looking for is how does it build up its so okay, so if I go into general, sorry, simple, like, how does it know the size of these things? I guess it just creates objects, right? Adds them to the simulation and then just goes nuts. I guess that's the problem for me to solve. I just need to use body creation settings. Let's see, is this box shape a... Okay, so that's the actual size of it. So it uses half extends, which I've used before myself. So that's actually the size of the thing. So that's the thing I need to care about. Then I can add them to the simulation. Obviously you want to do that in bulk. And that's chill. Do I want to adhere to this? I mean, it's technically not... It's technically a pointer that we're not going to... No, you don't do this. I remember you. The reason you don't do that is because if you're using the threading system, you have to use IDs. So you don't actually use the new operator if you're using the threaded version. I assume this is the non-threaded, because it says you can, but you have to be very careful. But still, so let's go to the physics thing, and no, I want to go to my code. So when we're doing this, to get an object, we have to what is this floor shape? Box shape setting. Okay, so it just creates a large box. That's what that is. Fine. Sorry, I'm tapping the mic there. Yeah. I'm gonna call this stream. I'm gonna say sorry to AJ. It's been a pleasure as usual. I hope everyone's has a fantastic rest of the day or night or whatever's going on. I hope people didn't mind me just kind of freeballing it and just kind of going this way and that way, but that's the plan for these streams. We're just going to be vibing. We're just going to be doing whatever it seems to be. I'm just getting a bit tired. I just need a bit of a break. And yeah, I'm going to work on this off stream, and hopefully tomorrow we have a equally as fun stream. Honestly, very much appreciate anyone who's watching. Even if you clicked on this and left immediately, you know. But especially the people who stick around. You're all awesome. If you want to join the Discord community, it's in the description of this video, live stream, whatever. So feel free. We're only small, but you know, we're happy to have you there. So yeah, I'll hopefully, guys, see you tomorrow if nothing else comes up. All right. See you, Ratchet, and see you.